Welcome to Supply Chain Digital, an exercise in collaboration, communication, and cooperation. What you see on the screen is, simply put, a metaphor or representation of your organization. On the left, you'll see a triangle of three people. On the right, a different triangle of three people. On the left, it could be a geographical location, and on the right, a different geographical location. Or it could be two different functions, sales and manufacturing, finance and manufacturing, however you choose to represent the metaphor. The overriding objective in this simulation is for everybody in the network to achieve their personal objective. That personal objective is expressed on the top left-hand side of the screen. The example you can see here is this individual requires blue, followed by yellow, followed by red, followed by yellow. It must be in that sequence, left to right. For the observant amongst you, you will notice that nobody in the network has the correct sequence of colored rings, which tells you a bit about what needs to happen in the exercise. You need to find a way collectively to redistribute these rings between you in order that everyone achieves their personal objective. Like any organization, we're governed by a set of rules, and this exercise is no exception. So let me run through these rules, listen up to those, but if you need a refresher of them at any time, you'll see an icon just adjacent to the red folder on the top right-hand side of your screen. If you click on that, it will give you the rules again, the objectives, the rules, and some of the functionality. But let me just walk you through some of these rules. Rings can only be passed along the connecting cords to the player that you are immediately connected to. So if we take an example of that, you will see on the screen on the bottom left, that is Simon. Simon can pass either to River, who's north of him, or to Mal, who's to the west of him. However, if we take Mal can obviously pass to both River and Simon, and can also pass to Sue, who's there with the cowboy hat on, but cannot pass directly to Dave or to John. So you can only pass rings to people you are physically connected to. Now, critical to this exercise is the only ring accessible to you is the one at the bottom of your chain. That means closest to your feet. Next up, you can, as soon as you have banked a ring onto your personal objective card, it cannot then be removed. So treat that like budget spent or revenue gone. It cannot be changed. Nobody in this network is allowed to be in possession of more than 4 colored rings. Now that means in their possession. So if I've got 3 attached to my waist and I've committed 1 to my personal objective, I still have 4. So that is cumulatively in your possession. Now, the final governance or rule in this exercise is, as soon as you have achieved your personal objective card and you have no remaining rings on your belt, you will be removed from the network. Now, to spell that out, that means your node of communication is now dead. So think carefully about how you accomplish that working through the exercise. There are only four broad activities, either individually or collectively, you can be involved in this exercise. The first is passing rings between players. The second is banking rings onto your personal objective card. Three is communicating verbally with each other as to your requirements. And four, you'll see on the right hand side under the speech bubbles, there's a chat function that you can choose to use or not. How do you pass a ring from one player to another? If we take the example on the screen, Simon requires a blue. He doesn't have a blue, but you can see that Mal has a blue and it's accessible. So if Mal hovers over Simon, you can see by pressing the pass ring button, the ring will transmit from Mal to Simon. Focus again on Simon. Simon, as you can see, needs to achieve a blue as his first ring on his personal objective. You can see the green button there, bank ring. If he presses that button, we automatically transfer the ring to the personal objective card. So far, so good. Now, if we focus our attention on Mal again, you will see that Mal now requires a green ring. He doesn't have a green ring, but as you can see, Simon does. By hovering over Mal's icon, Simon is now able to pass the green that Mal requires by pressing the pass ring button. And again, if we now look at Mal's objective, his first one is a green. So if he presses bank ring, he will automatically achieve the right link on his personal objective. Hopefully that makes clear the functionality on the site. Now, one other little feature of the game is finding your own avatar. If you hover over the avatar, you will see your personal one is highlighted in black, as shown by the example on the screen now of Mal. Now, one area of confusion or tension in this particular simulation is knowing at any point where the capacity is to receive and pass rings. Clearly that moves all the time. And remember the rule, you can only pass a ring to somebody who has fewer than four in their possession. That includes on their personal objective card and on their belt. The only ring that you can bank is the bank at the end of your chain, in other words, closest to your feet. Hopefully this gives you clarity around the objective of the simulation, the rules and the functionality. Remember that if at any point you are unclear on either the objectives or the rules or indeed the functionality, click on the icons or ask the facilitator.